Okay, welcome back everybody. This is the second video I will be doing for the Neo updates for TradingView, just so every single person can see how the project is evolving and how I'm trying to mimic what we had on MT4 in order for us to be able to trade the same type of thing on TradingView. But even on TradingView, we are going a bit further because we have there's more adaptability in terms of coding and what we can actually do. Of course, TradingView being a newer platform compared to MT4 or even MT5 in order for us to code certain things. So what we can see here today, what I have added to Neo is the Neo Dynamic Support and Resistance 2. So this is version 2 here. And with version 2, this is going to be removed as well. I'm not too sure why this hasn't gone yet. But with this dynamic support and resistance, everything is pretty much already pre-set up for you. You don't have to worry about it too much. It's going to be out for the users by tomorrow. So that'll be Wednesday, the 6th of November. Today's Tuesday, the 5th. There might be some fireworks in the background as well because it is bonfire night in the UK. So I do apologize if you do hear fireworks going off. But everybody's having a field day out there with that stuff. So yeah, this is the new dynamic support and resistance version 2. And why I really did love this support and resistance when it came into trading, especially when I was using the MT4 version of Neo, is that what tends to happen is price action. Let's just turn this off for a second. Price action tends to find some type of trend. So it'll find like a double top or a head and shoulders pattern. Then as it's doing this new trend that you can see in play here, instead of it just obviously just selling all the way down, what it tends to do is it will tend to go about something like this. Then it will find some type of support resistance area, and then we'll find a continuation. Now, what this actually helps me to do, and what I did explain to the VIPs earlier, why I did this, is that when this support and resistance level, the dynamic support and resistance you can see here at the moment, the update, when it does appear after I've managed to secure this idea of this new trend forming, whether it's a buy or a sell, this gives me a very good indication that price should hold this level for the continuation of the trade. Now, this is how I trade this. And as I've stated before, I trade the monthly time frame, the weekly, the daily, and the 4 hour. I don't trade lower because I just have a lot of accounts I manage, and it's just easier for me because that's the strategy I built for myself over years. Now, of course, anybody else is free to use this a different way if they would like to. I prefer to use it my set way, and that is what I will be teaching people on basically. But of course, there are other ways to use it, and you need to take the initiative once you do have it in order for you to find maybe some people want to 1 minute scalp with it or 5 minute scalp. Yes, you can do that, but I will not be training you how to do that because it's not how I trade. I just want to be very clear with that as well for people because it does get very hard when you're in my type of position because people expect you to have like a 1 minute strategy, 5 minute strategy, 30-minute strategy, and all this type of stuff. And I feel like that's just overwhelming yourself in terms of trading, and there's no need for it because as we all saw, and I'm sure a lot of us did see, we saw Alex, one of the traders in the community, turn $100 into $1 million, and he swing trades. So you don't need a lot of capital to swing trade, and you don't need to trade every single day to make $1 million, as we can see. So, if we take that logic into everything, this is how I just prefer to trade as well myself. And again, there's nothing wrong with scalping, but if you want to do it, just take the time out, take your initiative, and collect your data the same way I am with my swing trading strategy. So yeah, this is what we tend to see when we see a build-up of everything here. We tend to see price action create some type of double top or a head and shoulders pattern. Then we see a reversal, and then we'll see price action find some type of support or resistance area, and then we'll see the continuation of the trade. This is what I love to see, and this tends to happen in a monthly setup. So let's just say this is like week 1, this is week 2, this is week 3 here, and then week 4, boom, is the sell trade. Now, it's never always going to be perfect like this. Sometimes the sell setup will happen in week 3, sometimes it can happen in week 2, and sometimes it can happen in week 1, but it tends to be a 4-week cycle. So if you use that same type of logic as well, even if you did want to scalp, maybe you're looking at a 4-day pattern, so from a Monday to a Thursday, or even if you're looking at the 5-day cycle, the Monday to the Friday, and you start to break down, if you see the same type of pattern, and then one of these areas appearing for a trade setup for you to be able to find a scalp or a smaller, let's say a bigger scalp, which could technically be a day trade. So this is why I ideally put this into Neo on TradingView. It gives us a very good indication of when price action could be doing some type of continuation for a trade setup when I'm swing trading. And even if, again, like I said, if you're scalping or something like that, or day trading for smaller pips, it gives you a reversal pattern as well that could be happening in the market. So I'm obviously going to go through some ideas of this just to show you exactly what it looks like so people can have, a visual representation of what I'm saying here. So if we just switch it on here, and what's fantastic about this, and don't worry, there will be alerts set up for this. There are some type of alerts at the moment, but I don't think it's set up properly. I will set up some better alerts for that. That's no problem before it's released. But what is fantastic here is that it actually indicates when price action is creating the zone. So you can see with these arrows here. So you've got an arrow here and an arrow here. So obviously, as this arrow was appearing, that's when this zone was here. It was appearing. But of course, the arrow will not stick and this zone will not stay until the candle has closed. So when this candle closed, that zone had stuck in place, and the same thing here. And you can see if you was just to look for sell trades after this happened based on a daily time frame. I like to use these zones on a daily time frame or higher. I don't go any lower with them personally. And I think even if you're scalping, it's better to use on a daily time frame because you'll get a very strong indication of when price action could be holding a support or resistance level. So you can see here straight away, again, as I've said, you can see as soon as that closed, you would have had this zone stay there, but it will appear on this candle actually opening here. An example of that is if we go over to CAD JPY, I believe it is right now. If we go to CAD JPY, you can see that here, it's showing you that the candle's actually, the zone is trying to appear here at the moment, but the candle obviously hasn't closed, so the zone is not stuck in place. So you can easily see there is no repaint here, there is no issue here. You would obviously just wait for this candle to close and you'd be looking for buy continuation from tomorrow. Again, why I say this is so perfect, and I'm not trying to make people run away from scalping and all of that, because I know people are absolutely obsessed with it. Can't understand why, but I know people are absolutely obsessed with it. And this is why I try to make things to help those traders, but I don't feel I should force myself to scalp trade just to please people. I want to show people you can do it, but I don't want to, again, switch what I'm doing just to please the masses. So now you can see straight away here, as soon as this does appear and it does lock in play, you can look for a sell trade set up or a buy trade set up the following day. So let's go back over here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back over here. Let's go back to here. Bear with me a second. Boom. So, okay, we go over to AUD CAD now, and you can see straight away that as soon as this candle closed, the next day you'll be looking for a buy trade setup. Now, why this is so amazing for you here is that now no longer do you need to have to start finding specific pairs just in order for you to trade and doing a big long analysis to find which pairs could be doing a buy or a sell the following day. What makes it very easy for you to be able to do, and what I actually do all the time, which I was doing on MT4, the MT4 version of Neo, is all I'll do is just go through every single pair like this, and I will see which pairs throughout the course of the day have created one of these support or resistance zones that have locked in place. And then, of course, I'll do my initial analysis on the pair after that. So if one has appeared, all I would do is simply just tag it like this. So I could tag it with any color. Obviously, if you go over here on TradingView, you can tag any color you want yourself, just so you know. And then once you've tagged the color on that pair, you just go back to your watch list, which is here. The tagged colors will be over here as well. So you're going to be able to know which ones, if you want to, you can put a bullish or bearish color. You're going to know which ones have created a daily support or resistance zone as soon as the market has opened the next day. That then as soon as you've got that, you can now do a further analysis. So if we just look at even AUD New Zealand right now, we can see that, okay, if the zone did appear here, and this is why we have the M&W indicator I showed you in the last video for Neo. If you're not aware of that video, it will be popping up right around here in the video. You should be able to see it. If it's not there in the top right, it'll be in the description below. And if you can't see it there, you can also just message me on Telegram or Discord, and I'll be able to send you the link to that video. If not, it's on my YouTube channel. So you can see here straight away that what do we see here? We see a second leg of a W on a daily time frame. So the fact that we're actually seeing a second leg of a daily W forming here, this gives us a very good indication that this support zone is going to do a continuation of a buy. And this is exactly what we saw here. Now, I know it will seem like I'm going to say fibs here, and fibs mean like I'm just lying about what I'm saying here, but I was actually going to give this out as a trade idea to the users today. But I said, let me make sure that the coding for the indicator is finished before I actually do that. And the reason why is exactly what I can see in front of us here, which is the second leg of a daily W, telling us price action can buy. And then on top of that, we've got the support zone that's already formed here, and it's told us it's locked in place right over here. Yeah. So what can we see here? What else do we expect to happen with price action? We expect it to buy. If we probably go down to even a lower time frame, 4 hour, we'll probably see another. So here we had the second leg of the W pattern here. So let's go here, back to the daily. Let's see. Boom. So you can even see here at this same daily second leg, if we go to the 4 hour chart, on the 4 hour on the Monday, we had a second leg of a W forming here as well. So you can see how the pattern follows itself up time frames, and how you're able to now say, okay, this is how I can get an entry in this pair, because you can see the 4 hour created a second leg of a W, which was therefore going on to a daily second leg of a W. And even if we was to go to like the 12-hour chart here, so even if you wasn't you wanted to specifically wait for the daily chart to create a second leg of a W. How ironic is it that the 12-hour chart, this is why I like trading view, because you can go between these types of time frames, which it makes it more difficult to do that on MT4. The 12-hour chart would have created a second leg of a W here. So remember, we're already basing this on the fact that we know that this support level has stuck in place. Now I can see that there's a second leg of a W here forming on this candle here. But of course, until this candle is closed, I won't know if I can enter it or not. Now, this wasn't too big of a buy on AED New Zealand, so it's okay. But sometimes one daily second leg appearing, whether it's an M or a W, can be a massive move, like as you can see here. So you'd miss the trade setup. So this is why I use my initiative to either go to the 4 hour time frame, and even if that wasn't safe enough for me, I'll use my initiative. This is what I'm telling people. You have to use your initiative when you're trading. These tools work perfectly, and they're going to give you great opportunities in the market. But at the same time, you have to be willing to sit here and master how you would like to trade it if you do not want to follow my swing trading strategy that you obviously do get once you sign up for this product. You'll get that and you'll trade alongside with me. But if you'd like to do another version of it for yourself, you're going to have to put the legwork in, you know, and sit here and master what you want to do in order to make it comfortable for yourself. But again, if we go to the 12-hour chart, bing, boom, boom, you can see right here, there you go. You would have your entry on the close of that candle, and you would obviously be in profits for this trade setup. So you do get the same type of setup happening continuously throughout the market between every single trading week. So if we was just to keep going right now, New Zealand. So if we was to keep going right here, let's go back to the daily time frame. Okay. And now you can see, so now right here, what is this? Boom, boom, boom. So with this one here, we can see now we can eliminate what pairs not to trade. So even though we did see AUD USD buy-in, where can we see, where do we know what part, let me put this properly, what part of the pattern are we in when it comes to the structural M's and W's? We can see on the daily time frame that this was the second leg of the W here that actually created this support level. So here we're actually coming into AM. And if anybody's confused, you can just easily switch back on your labels here. That will help you right over here. Yeah. So we can see we are going into the M forming. So the second leg of the M is going to come into play at the moment. So this doesn't give us the safest idea that it could buy, even though it is buying, it's because it's the middle part of an M. So it might buy up to here and then it might sell all the way back down to here. Do you understand? This is what could happen. But we don't want to take that trade setup because we can see that we're not in the best position when it comes to our daily analysis. Yes, we know it can buy because this appeared and we could be looking for a buy trade setup, but we already know that we're not in the greatest position because we're not like AED New Zealand in the second part of the W for buys. So we're not going to take it. Now compare this idea here with what you saw up here. If I'm lying, I'm flying, people. Can you see the M was forming? Boom, boom, boom. This one closed. And then after this closed, what did you start to see after that? You started to see price action selling. So of course, this is not going to work every single time, people. We have to be absolutely, realistic with ourselves. But it gives you so much more of a better idea because the M's and the W's indicator is showing you where you are in the market. If you're within lower lows, higher highs, lower highs or higher lows. And then this will give you an indication of where you are with support and resistance as well, which is quite good as well. I've managed to monitor this data on this type of support resistance indicator for a very long time now, for over a year now. So this is very good for us as well at the same time. So we can just follow this all the way down. We'll just keep going. So you can see even here on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has rejected off a previous one. This isn't a new one. So I wouldn't look to take this type of trade setup because I don't know how strong this level is now. I don't know if price action wanted to go and break this level. So we can see this is why I wouldn't have taken it. But as price action did come back to this level, and we did see a W second leg forming, it just shows you how strong the M's and W indicator actually is. As you see a W second leg forming, what do we see here? We see price action starting to buy up. You get it? And it's just really that simple. So we can do the same thing here. Let's go to a 12-hour chart. And we can see with the 12-hour chart, we're not in the right position for a second leg W. It was actually all the way back here, which was Sunday the 12th. So that was Monday morning. Wasn't too bad. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, with the 4-hour, boom, 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 boom. There we go. Yeah, that was that 12-hour there. Boom. So you only had an entry like here. So again, I wouldn't have taken this trade setup. And my main reason for not taking this trade setup in the first place is this is not a new zone. It's not a new support level. It's an old one. And this is old resistance. So I'm not interested in this trade. So you can see how I can just skip past that trade straight away. You can see here on CAD CHF, there is no zone there that's appeared. So I'm skipping past that trade straight away. We can see that CAD JPY is obviously appearing with a zone. So I would only be looking at a trade setup from tomorrow from this pair. We can see that this is the second leg of a daily W and we haven't had our pullback yet. Remember, if the second leg does want to close in play, this is the buy of the second leg is technically doing now. It's got to pull back at some point. So even tomorrow could be the pullback. And then after that, the next part of it, where it's still forming the middle part of the M might do a little buy up here now. You see, this is what can happen. But you got to remember on the daily time frame, where are you? You are in the middle pattern of the M. So now, even though the support levels appeared there, this is already telling you just at a quick glance that, hey, I'm not in the right place for me to take this buy trade setup. There's no point me rushing this because the likelihood of price action actually buying through is going to be lower than it actually doing it. It might do an aggressive buy like we saw another pair doing in the middle of the M, but why stress yourself when you can clearly see on the indicator it's going to tell you you're not in the right place? Do you understand? There's no need to stress yourself. You just kick back and you don't do anything. You just wait. And you can see here. So now we can see that this one would have appeared yesterday. And now we know on the daily time frame, where are we? On Swiss JPY, we are in the beginning part of an M. So yes, we can start to look for a sell trade setup. And if we go to the 4-hour chart, right over here on the 4-hour chart is where you would have got a this is where you would have got basically a lower high appearing. But we can see that if we look here, boom, boom, boom. If we switch on these labels as well, you can see this is where a high had been locked in place. So you could have been looking for your soul trade set up from here. Now, if we go back to the daily chart, just to show you, boom, boom, boom. Again, remember, what is price action going to do? If it's already created the second leg of the W, the next thing that price action is going to do is what? And we know that as a resistance levels appeared during the daily, all we're going to see price action do is this. So whether it wants to buy or not, we do know it's going to sell down a bit and then do this. Boom. It should do this, or it's going to do something like this, and then it could come back down later on. But at least we know that. Remember, I'm talking about scalp trades here. This is not the swing trades. Oh, sorry, that was a bit twisted. Yes. So, yes, you can see straight away, this is what we're going to see. So today you would have been able to catch this scalp. So just based on the fact that you know you're coming into the M forming. So can you see how again, when you put merge the two indicators together, you start to get some type of pattern appearing here. So you're able to trade it. Now, of course, if you obviously wait for the second leg patterns to appear with the support and resistance appearing, that one is going to give you the strongest identification of a trade setup. But if you actually start to see the pattern forming with support, so if there's a support and a W is forming, you know you can start to get a buy. And if it's a resistance and you see an M forming, you know you can start to get a sell. So I hope everybody's understanding what I'm saying here. They can see why I've added this addition of this indicator into the trading suite for everyone for Neo. So we just keep going. So you can see the same thing here with your AUD now. So from yesterday, boom. And then you already knew that this was the second leg coming in here. So from this second leg appearing, let's just go here to the 4 hour. Let's see what we've got here. So this could actually be part of the sell trade setup happening here. When the second leg closes, you could do another sell. So if your AUD does a continuation of a sell through the night or to tomorrow, this could be part of the setup. But you can see here from the Monday, from as soon as this M was forming, even on the 4 hour, that was giving you an indication that we was going to start to see this sell coming in on the Tuesday. Again, why would it have been that? Because on the Monday, as this was closing here, this is when we would have had this locked into play. So when this closed on the Monday, yes, that's when you would have been seeing from Tuesday when you're going to take your trade setup. Let's go here. Boom. There you go. So, and there you go. So from market close, this even gives you a nice, good version here. You can see how I've gone to the 12-hour chart, because between the reason why I got to the 12-hour, you can obviously imagine the daily to the 4 hour, there's a massive gap. Between the 4 hour to the daily, there's a massive gap. So I would like to go through time frames to see how the M and W indicator is very strong. So I'd like to see how the M's and W's are forming through multiple time frames to be able to pinpoint that, okay, and this move is going to occur. And remember, this is me teaching you guys and girls how you could technically scalp with it. But you can see I'm doing this straight away with you right now. And this is what I expect people to be able to do for themselves if they want to scalp with this. But you can see from here, the M forming on the 12-hour chart straight away. What do? We'll go back to, so we would have been able to get in right here as soon as this one closed, because we know the M's forming. That means we're looking for more of a sell. And we know on the daily, remember, we would have got in just when that candle closed, which was the Tuesday open. So you would have been in right at the top of this sell here, and you would have been able to catch yourself almost 100 pips on a sell. Do you understand where I'm coming from, guys and girls? This is why I create this indicator, because people they always ask me about, oh, how do I scalp? How do I scalp? Or how do I do like a bit of a bigger scalp into, like, let's call it half a day trade. And my thing is that, yes, everybody wants me to be able to say, oh, go to the 1 minute, look for this liquidity sweep, and then and this. But I'm like, it's always better to use the higher time frame for analysis, even if you want to trade the 1 minute chart, because you'll be shocked how many of these trades every single week there's something going on with this. And just to show you this, hold on a second, give me a second, guys and girls. Give me a second. I'm glad everybody is here at the moment. Thank you for your time. Give me a second. All right, cool. Give me a second, sorry, people. Maybe Zoom go. Go. Zoom, share. All right, so now you can see my screen, and this is just a week and week separator. So we can see every single week in the market, yeah? Why stress yourself? And what's kind of cool, I can't seem to get the arrows coming off from behind that have appeared before. But you can see the pattern of how this has worked technically before. And you can see even from here, let's go here. Sorry, hold on. Let's get all of these off so the chart's a bit more clearer. Let's just leave the second legs. Yeah. Okay. Remember, this is just one pair. This is just a Euro ord. And you can see how many weeks in a row. So you can see there was a sit just on the second leg appearing here, just to show people the consistency of the second legs. Look at the buy that happened there. Even when the sell happened here, okay, it didn't really sell, but when the buy kicked in, look at the buy that kicked in. So if you took that buy based on a daily time frame, you see what I'm saying, people? This is why I said the daily is better, even if you want to scalp. You can see there was a setup here. There was a loss there. Let's just call that one. There was a setup here as well, and there's a possible setup here. Remember, this didn't have to be a loss if we use this methodology here. Let's say this did happen here. What I just explained to you, maybe you would not have lost that trade, but let's just call it a loss. But you can see the same thing. Look here, boom. Look at this second leg. Look at the continuation of the sell. Okay, you would have lost this one. You could have lost this one as well. But look at this buy here. So can you see how strong this M&W indicator is alone? Like, I was just trying to tell people, trust me, the M&W indicator is crazy. And it took me like almost 2 to 3 weeks to create it this way specifically for you guys and girls. So once you start merging it with stuff, it's better for you. And remember, this is only one pair. So if you used to go through every single pair, you would see at the end of a week how many second legs formed on a daily chart and how many trades actually followed through with maybe a trend buy or a trend sell, you know? Just something as simple as that. And I think that's very important for you guys and girls to just pay attention to, you know? I just think it is. Just give me 1 second, guys and girls. So as you can see, it's the same thing here, even on EuroCAD. If I'm flying people, look here, look at the second leg there, look at the second leg here. You can see here, so this one could have been a loss because it wicked down a bit more. Did it wick down? Oh no, you might have been safe in this one because the low is actually down here. But yeah, you can see here, look at the buy, look at the sell. So I can't make this stuff up is what I'm trying to tell you. So imagine if you're adding this with the support and resistance appearing at the same time, or around that area, whether it's the second leg of the M or W, or even you can double check it as well. You can switch these off. Like this is the stuff I'm trying to show you that you would do once you purchase this indicator suite and you trade it the way you want. You can put it for the M&W's forming. So you can just see the difference. You can say, oh, when it forms and then it creates these, that seems to give me a nice scalp trade that I can always capture on a trade. But always use it based on the daily time frame is what I'm saying. If you're using that, that's a high enough time frame for you to capture trade setup. If you're scalping, day trading, or swing trading, because it's one of my middle time frames I use between the daily, the weekly, the daily, the 4 hour. The daily is like the middle. And then once that lines up with the 4 hour lining up, it's like pretty much a goal, you know? So now that I've explained that, does everyone have a basic understanding that has been here from the beginning of why I added this indicator and what I'm trying to show you? Basically how I'm trying to show you how you can scalp with this indicator as well, or day trade with this new update of an indicator that I've given out. Well, I'm going to be giving out to everyone basically tomorrow. If you've got any questions as well, please let me know. Please let me know. Don't be shy, guys and girls. If you've got questions, let me know. It's very hard to type responses to your questions when there's a Zoom call and I can just answer them straight away. And a lot of time for my other business, I could be driving, so it's hard for me to reply you. Yes, you gotta catch up now. You gotta catch up. That's what I told everyone in VIP. Moving like Sonic nowadays. Nobody can say that, oh, you're not keeping up. Now you see, this is a thing here. Nothing is created for perfection of an entry, a stop loss, a take profit, and all of that stuff. These are the things I do expect people to be able to figure out between themselves. And I know it sounds a bit mad because it's someone in my position, but nobody can give you a perfect entry, a perfect stop loss, or a perfect TP. I've had to pick what just works for me, not what always works for the market. It doesn't work like that. There's another specific VIP student, and if they watch you back, they'll know who they are. I've had to say it to them many weeks in a row, basically, because they keep asking me the same question. I'm like, we're going back to the same answer here. Nothing is going to give you a perfect stop loss. And I know that's not what you said, perfect. I'm just telling you in general. Because when I create something, people do want something that says, oh, but where's the take profit? Where's the stop loss? It doesn't work like that. It's what do you see the market doing more than it doesn't do. So what I've already explained to you guys and girls many times before about what the market does is the market will always go for a previous day's liquidity high or low, a previous week's liquidity high or low, or a previous month's liquidity high or low. It will also do that with any time frame lower as well. But what is a better target for you to go for? If you're going to be trading, even a scalp trade, where more than likely is it going to go for? It's at least if it was going to do a straight, nice 50 pip move or something, it's going to go for the previous day's high or low. So no matter what strategy you're trading, your take profit should always be where? Let me see it in the questions, guys and girls, the questions and answers section. Where would your take profit be? There you go. You see? So it doesn't matter what indicator creation I give you, your take profit is always going to be there. The previous day's high or low, the previous week's high or low, or the previous month's high or low. It just depends on how you're trading it. Now, what I would go for, because I'm swing trading, I look at the previous weeks and the previous months. I explained that when I was trading gold many times before. Do you get what I'm saying? It starts to make sense when you put it that way. It doesn't matter what strategy you're trading, what indicator you're using. That's where they're going to go, regardless. It just matters. It's just a matter of when. But if they're going to move, they're definitely going to move there. You know what I mean? They're definitely. There is no if, buts, or maybes about that. Do you understand? So it just keeps it simple. That's how I've managed to trade all this time, finding take profit levels. Now, when it comes to stop losses, it comes a bit difficult for people because obviously take profits it's our imagination. If it goes here, we can make this much. But when it comes to stop losses, it becomes a bit more difficult for people because people want to get the smallest stop loss so they can risk the most to make the most on a trade. Now, the only thing I can say to you guys and girls is that I've noticed, and I'm not the only one, other VIPs have noticed it as well, is these M's and W's are very, very strong. So if you are taking a trade that is in the right trend, because it's kicked into play through the time frames in the right trend, then pardon me, give me a second. I would say that when you're using the M's and W indicator, let's go to the daily. Boom. Let's go to the daily. Here. So for me, let's just say, and I'm going to keep it very simple. If your stop loss is below the second leg of the M or the W, yeah, regardless of the time frame you're using, if it's the right trade, it should not break it. Literally, if it's the right trend trade, it will not break the bottom of the M, the W, or the top of the M, as you can see here. If you enter this trade for a sell from the closure of this daily candle, you would have made all this money from this sell going down here, and price action never came back above it or below it. And it's the same thing from here as well. This is if you're using the M's and W's indicator. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to wick out sometimes in trades because they do. They do. They wick out sometimes and then they'll go the right way. They'll do that. There's nothing, as you can see, they did with this candle here. So imagine this was a W second leg here, let's just say. Then they've done this move. Then you would have lost that trade. All of a sudden, it doesn't work. No, not necessarily. Because what I try and tell people time and time again, I said it in the last Singapore as well, there is no perfection. And this is why, the easiest way to avoid worrying about that, lower your risk. Yeah. Lower your risk entirely. Just lower your risk entirely. And you don't need to put a stop loss there. I keep telling people that all the time. Do you understand? The problem people have is because they set themselves the goal of in 3 months, I'm going to be able to do this with trading. And then in 6 months, I'm going to be able to do that with trading. And then in 9 months, I'm going to be able to do this. But I try and tell people all the time, the market doesn't care about your goals. You can try and do it. And if you do, kudos, great. You understand? But the market doesn't care about our goals. It's not there to know that, oh, yeah, this trader's trying to make 100K in the next 6 months. It's not there to do that. Do you understand? So no matter how much you want to say that yourself, it doesn't work like that. So if you take it back a step and you realize that you don't have to try and get what you want from this exact point every single time. Lower your risk, and even if it does this, you're okay. Because even if it does that, you're going to be able to just let it go to where it goes to. Remember, I've been doing this on prop accounts for like almost over 2 years now. So nobody can tell me it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, I haven't passed every single proper cat with flying colors, but nobody can say it doesn't work. Do you understand? And that's trading with no stop loss, is what I'm trying to say. Because I don't like to say I know specifically the market should not go no lower than this level here. I just don't think it's realistic to say that because we're talking about trillions of dollars getting shifted here. We're not going to know that from the computer that we have in our desk in the office. We're just not going to know that. Let's be real. Let's be real. You know, we can miss it out by one pip. I don't think it's necessary if you lower your risk. If you're doing something where you're challenging yourself, different. You know, if you're trying to flip money from this to that, that's different. But again, you got to know that comes with a lot of stress. But if you're just trying to trade like a normal trader, just lower your risk, trade along, and you will be profitable. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it does it more than it doesn't. Hopefully that answers your question about stop loss anyway. And that's what I personally do. I just don't use a stop loss. I just keep it simple. It doesn't, all you have to do is be in the right trades more than you're not, and you'll be fine. I kid you not. Yeah, I kid you not. Like I just don't try not to overcomplicate it. When it comes to that now, so and then entry is already there because we can see what's going on with the M second leg and W second leg. So I've already worked on entries now. Do you understand? And then like I've said, so I might find something that can find us a great stop loss area. And if I do, guess what's going to happen? If you're part of the monthly mentorship and the monthly indicator subscription, it's all together. It's just 50 GBP, 400 for the year or 600 for lifetime. There's only 23 more slots left. Guess what? If I do find out something that can work overall good in a good way, should I say, for our stop loss, I'll just get the coding team to make us an indicator. As simple as that. This is the whole point of it. It's for ease of trading. That's what this is supposed to be for you guys and girls. You understand? And you know, I ain't seen anybody else give you an M and W indicator like this before. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen many zigzags, but I ain't seen this. I've seen this one. I've seen this one. So yeah, so that's that one. Has anyone got any other questions as well? And don't be shy. Like I said, I'm not here to bite off anybody's head or anything like that. You do have to understand there's some questions I have probably been asked like 50 times before over the years. So it might seem like I'm a bit like, but it's not. It's just I hope that, you know, this one next time that I do explain it, people kind of do get their head around it. So if there's, yeah, go ahead, mate. Sorry.
Hi, John. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
So, quick question. I think I have two questions. One is,
Yeah,
sorry, I joined in late, but I think my understanding that this is the new format for the update for the new indicator. So on
yes.
the top right, where we have the label type, latest, second last, and that last.
Yes, this one here.
No. On top right.
Oh, this one here. Yeah.
Yes. That chart over there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, which means I'm just trying to understand that what it says is what it means in terms
Yeah.
of what is forming at the moment is W forming, correct?
Yeah, that's the latest one. It's because literally if you have all of these on, then you'll be able to understand the chart better. Literally. So can you see W forming?
Yes. Okay, yes.
And it was the second one, and the last one before that was a low. You see? That's what that
Yes.
table is doing. So it's literally showing the last three labels that appeared. That's what it's doing.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's literally showing you
100%.
that. Yeah. And if you don't want this table on, you can just literally like get rid of the table. Because you don't have to have the table on. You understand? Yeah.
Good.
That's why. So you've got options to customize. So you can have the table on. And you, if you don't want all of them up, you can have this. So you can have the table off, all of that off. You can just have second leg. It's because some of the traders, that's why I like it, because again, if you're part of the suite, you get to ask me questions and can you do this, John? Can you do that? If it can work, I will do it. I'll get it done. If not, then obviously I might tell you it's a bigger project or it can't be done if it can't be done right now. Do you know what I mean? But you can see straight away. There was somebody that asked me literally, they're like, can we only have second leg labels appearing? And I was like, yeah, cool. And then,
Okay. So
yeah.
maybe my other question would be, if you're day trading, for example, and then you're starting from, say, the daily time frame, you want probably, the intention is to take your trade at the 1 hour time frame. So my assumption is, say, say if you're taking along, once the second W forms, then you go back to the lower time frame, say from the daily to the 1 hour, so that you're able to price your trade accordingly. I'm just trying to figure it out, because sometimes you will be on the daily, the second leg of the W is forming, but then once you go to the lower time frames, you you're a bit confused on when is the most appropriate time to enter, so to speak.
Yeah, you see, that's why it gets a bit technical for me. And this is why I like to be very transparent. Where I don't scalp trade, I don't have the data to tell you that that would be the best time frame. I've seen what looks like good time frames, but I don't have the data to tell you what would be the best time frame because it's all good to me telling you the 1 hour, but the 15 minute could have given you a better entry. And that doesn't mean with less stop loss, it means with no wick out, if that makes sense. Do you understand? So, or it could even be with a smaller stop loss. So I don't want to say that where I know my specific time frames because you see, that's what you see. What the question you asked me there is what people want me to do. But I'm like, oh, this is why I specifically say all the time, I don't scout. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't want to give you something that is not the reality of what it is. It would literally only take a trader no more than a week for them to sit down and actually take the data information of what they've seen during the week and find what's the best time frame to execute the entry on. Do you understand? Because you're never always going to get a perfect M&W every single time a trade setup comes in. It's going to only be selective times. And you might realize that this selectiveness happens more on the 15-minute chart for entries, on the 30-minute chart for entries, on the 1 hour. You see, that's the due diligence the trader wants to put in there. Because again, I've created Neo as a swing and day trading strategy, more swing than anything. And I already told you which timeframes to use in order for you to be profitable and make money. And there's data analysis that a trader's working on at the moment. I've actually got it up here, but I don't want to show it because I've got to speak to them a bit more. But he's already shown us, yeah. And this is me just giving it to this trader as well. Yeah, one of the VIPs that purchased everything. Yeah. He's already shown me from his data analysis, and this is what I expect everyone to technically be doing, that you're able to catch 5 winning trades every single month using the monthly time frame to trade from with this indicator. And if you're able to catch 5 winning trades every single month, you could technically, and he said when he's done it on AUD CAD from 2019 to present, yeah, this is him that's done it. He's shown me all the data as well. I've gone through it with him. Yeah. You're able to, in just 4 months, she was able to, from 2019 to now. I remember that's only in 4 months from 2019, not 4 months over the period to now. Yeah. He was able to easily grow $100 to $1 million because it was a 90% win rate. I can't make this stuff up. It's data. Do you get it? And that's what I'm trying to say. The question you're asking me is it's bigger than me just saying, oh yeah, just go to the 1 hour chart and then you just look for an entry there. It's not. I don't want to lie to anybody here. I don't. This is why my community doesn't have 100,000 subscribers, because I tell it how it is. You've got to sit down and you've got to find data. And for you to find the data, you've got to sit there and say, this is how you do it. It's the same way I created this indicator. It took me hours and weeks. I didn't just make this in 1 second. Do you get where I'm coming from? So how am I going to give you the data on where to enter from if you don't sit down and do it? Again, I could always lie to a trader in my position, but what's the point? What's the point? You're just gonna go away for 1 week and say, "Oh, this guy's lying." You're just gonna figure out. Do you understand what I'm saying? It don't make sense. So I might as well tell you the truth. You've got to collect the data. If you're telling me about swing trading, I can give you the exact data, like I just did. Do you understand? But I can't tell you that if you're talking about scalping. So does that make sense? What I've just said there?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
you can't do it. Trust me, it doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just I don't want to tell you the 15 minutes the best one because I haven't gone over it. That's literally it. It doesn't mean it don't work. I just haven't gone over it enough to say, let me go all the way back from 2020 and see every single time this happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? I haven't done that. Do you understand? But when it comes to swing trading, I have. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
why I said it's down to the trader. The trader has no problem joining this, getting this product, and I'm telling you, you can make money swing trading with this because once they realize they're going to be able to take their own swing trades as well. Just because I might only take 2 in a month doesn't mean there wasn't 5. Doesn't mean there wasn't 6. Do you get it? They're going to be able to do that once they join this product because they're going to be able to realize the move and the shift in the market that's happening. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell the trader. But again, when it comes to your scalping, if I was to just give you a idea of what I would say is once you go to the daily time frame, personally, I would go between, let's just say, I would like to go to the 15-minute time frame for entry. That's what I would like to do. And let's go to the daily. Hold on a second. This is where I would start on the 15-minute time frame. So if this closed here, yeah, And then we can see here between here and here. I like to go to the 15-minute time frame. Boom, boom, boom. Give me a second. Here's okay. What's going on there? What is happening there? I just drew two lines. That's very weird. Give it a second. Very weird. Okay. Yeah, that is okay. Here's the 20 last one. This is why I'm not used to going back this far to find data. Because I don't use the 15-minute time frame. I'm like, what's going on? So, there we go. Now let's put the N's and W's indicator on. Okay, fireworks are going crazy at the moment. Okay, we can't go that far back, so we have to do this. The indicator, let's bring it here. Okay, but you can see what I'm saying about the W second leg. If you get the right entry, you should be fine. So, okay, this one is going to the 29th, boom. So right here, this is the day. Yeah, this is the day, sorry, my bad. And you can already see, this is the problem where inconsistencies start happening. So we can already see if we're just looking at this on that last buy that happened, if you were trying to get in the next day on a 15-minute, second leg, look how many inconsistencies you had here because price action wanted to go down a little bit more. So then I would now say to myself, okay, let me go to the 30-minute time frame and see how that looks. Okay, we get less inconsistencies here in terms of the setup that's appearing. Yeah. Okay, and we can see we have the perfect second leg entry here. So it's not wrong. There's something else missing here that we need to see. Of course, any trader would be able to tell you it's liquidity. There's more than likely liquidity resting here. You understand? Yeah. So there was liquidity resting here that they wanted to take. And if we look at that, that was the previous day's low. So they literally wanted to take the previous day's low liquidity. You see? So even if you did want to get a 15-minute entry, can you see what I'm doing already? You see why it becomes bigger than just what's the entry time frame? This is what I'm trying to tell traders. It becomes a whole different kettle of fish because look, this is that's what we say in the UK. It's just the same, by the way. It becomes a whole different setup because look here. So now if you do want to enter on a 15-minute chart, just to show people that I actually do this trading thing, I can see instantly that liquidity is what you'd after, but then you might only trade from a 15-minute entry if price action after it's created that daily support and it's a second leg of a W or M on the daily time frame, it has to go and take the previous day's liquidity low or high and then create a 15-minute second leg. Do you understand? Because if you've got it in here, you can see how ridiculous this trade becomes now. And then so you see how I already built up a strategy and gave you confluences for your strategy already. And you would develop around that. So more than it just being an entry criteria, a time frame entry criteria, you might have to start adding more and more and more to it. So maybe 3 or 4 other things in order for you to get what you want. Because again, we can see the indicator works. It's not going to tell you what is the best one going down to the lower time frames. Obviously, there's going to be lots of ups and downs. But how did it give you? Look at this nice entry it gave you on the 15-minute time frame. That's a 10-pip stop loss. Wait. In here, I don't know. This one spiked here. So that's the only thing I can say is this one did spike here. But let's go here. Let's see if we've got a low here. Any other low? It would have gone too lower. Nope. So this one here, so already this is telling me, being very transparent because it looks perfect. So I picked it there. This one would have spiked. You see? And this is what I was talking about when I was talking before about why I don't use stop losses. You see? Because this one you would have tried to get a 6-pip stop loss. This was a 6-hour trade, and they just spiked you by like 2 pips. 2 pips for that trade. Do you understand? Okay, so maybe you've got a designated stop loss. These are the types of things you've got to build up for it. And this is why I said this takes time and data collection. You might say, I only want to give myself 15 pip stop losses every single time that appears, and I'm going for 1 to 3 R. You understand? This is something that nobody can create for you in 1 second. It takes time to collect this type of data, and that's why I don't shift my strategy. I've done years of collecting data on my swing trading strategy, but you can already see how I'm already starting to build up the picture of how I would scalp with it. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you? And anybody else that does watch this video that wants to scalp with a product like this or any, you can be using any products, people. but you got to start opening up your mind a little bit more is what I'm trying to tell you, to try and say it the best way possible. You got to start adding. It's probably not the product, it's probably how you're trying to use the product, is what I'm saying. You can use any product, even a free product, but it's how you're probably using it is not getting you the best results that you're looking for. So boom. There we go here. What does this get us? So, okay, let's just say now. So this was like a crazy trade because you can see if you took that trade and you managed to catch that scalp, that's like a 4-hour trade. Okay. Let's go to the 30-minute time frame and see how that was. So it's better on the 30-minute because the second leg was after. So you can see to avoid it maybe fake outs, you go to the 30-minute time frame, and now you never got faked out by that move. Can you see? So you would have to see the difference between different pairs you trade. Maybe you only trade the majors, and you'd have to know that, oh, every single time I'm on a 15-minute time frame, I seem to get stopped out more by 2 or 3 pips before the actual move goes off. But if I go for a 30-minute time frame with those same pairs and those same setups, I don't seem to get stopped out as many times. So therefore, the win rate increases. So does that make sense what I'm saying to you guys and girls? I'm trying to help out people here as much as possible. Does it make sense?
Yes, makes a lot of sense.
You see? So it's a bit more of a bigger question than that. Because like I said, it's not only you, trust me, I get loads of people direct message me these types of questions. Like, I don't understand. I don't think about, I'm like, I can't type how to do what you're asking because it's bigger than that. You understand what I mean? It's so much bigger than that. It's unreal. It's not that it doesn't work or it's this, it's just that you've got to kind of widen your horizon when it comes into the trading logic of it. Because again, as we can clearly see, the W second leg's there. So the indicator worked, but how do I know it's that one? Now you got to start adding things to it. But again, that's something a trader has to do. Because if I was to do it, I'd have to sit there for 2, 3, 4 weeks to try and build up that data. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It takes a lot of time to do that stuff, people, as you know. Yeah. But if you really want to trade that badly, then the indicator works. You just got to do it, Yeah, with the help of the indicator, you have to put the work in yourself to get the great results. That's exactly it. I kid you not, people. You just got to put the work in. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, the indicator works because you can see it right in front of your face. So, boom. So, yeah, that's how you would do that one there. So now you can even see here, look, can you see how all the time frames are matching up? Right. Why is it perfectly matching up? When the right trade comes up, the indicator tends to match up. Do you understand? And that's what you start to see here. So you can even see here. So you just waited for the 1 hour one, then you avoided all the headache. Yes, you haven't got the perfect trade, but boom. And here's your TP target. So you can see this is what I was talking about. Your stop loss at the low of the second leg. And then your TP target would have been the previous day's high, which was there. Boom. And that's a 2.3R trade at that point. Do you understand? So these are things that you just got to factor in. Okay. Where are we? Let's go here. And remember, guys and girls, this was after, we switched this on. This was after this was created. There. So can you see what you had to do there? So literally, I just did a strategy with you guys. That's how bad it was. We literally found the time frame that seemed better. The 30 minutes seems to be the best one with less headache. You understand? Yeah. The 1 hour is the best one, but you're going to have less risk to reward on your trade. Yeah. And on top of that, the next confluence, I would say that if this does happen, you've got to wait for a previous day's liquidity high or low to be taken. So if you get the second leg in your direction after the previous day's liquidity high or lows taken, then there's a good chance that the price action can reverse from there to go towards your previous day's high or low TP target. You understand? Like, boom, there you go. I've really given us a setup strategy for that whole setup right there. You see? So hopefully you'll be able to trade it if you've got that. Yeah. No, it's no problem, mate. Like I said, nothing's here to, like I said, I'm not here to bite anybody's head off or anything like that. Trust me, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to tell people that trading is a lot more than just what one person can just kind of tell you, oh, look here, buy here, sell here. You really do have to put the work in, people, because even when it comes to like helping with the coding, what I'm doing, I've got to put more work in to make sure it's working. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's not even the actual entering of the trade. You know what I mean? I'm like, no matter what angle I come in at trading, there's something that has to get me in front of this computer for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. I'm telling you, because you just can't run from it, people. You can't run from. It's like the inevitable you're trying to run from sometimes. Unless you're getting just signals, you're gonna have to put some leg work in, no matter who's teaching you. You know what I mean? All right, cool. So, any other questions, people? Any other questions? Talk to me.
Hi,
Talk to
John,
me.
I've got a question. Just a
Hi there,
quick-
how you doing?
Good, thanks. You know the black color tag thing next to Rwanda when we started this session. How did you
This one
get
here?
that one? Yeah, how did you get it on again, please?
You just click it, just like that. You just click it once. So wherever the tag is on yours, you just click it right there. Okay. Boom. Click it. Have you got yours there? It's
I
called
mean
the
now
flags.
see okay, let me have a quick look at my one.
It's called the flags. It could be a setting somewhere. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get the flag on, I should say?
The best thing, if you haven't got it there, I'm not too sure because there's so many like little
Okay,
settings on
right.
TradingView. Go here, and then when you're on your watch list, you can just do it here. You can just press it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because I'm not too sure. There's so many little settings on TradingView that can make this appear, that disappear. Only have a Wanda, only have the day, have no currency pair. There's so many little settings. I'm not too sure. But if not, you just go to your watch list and you can just apply it to your chart there. Yeah. And therefore you can pinpoint. So any ones that have done that. And like I said, anybody, if you don't like, trust me, get it for 1 month, the product, even just along with these daily zones that I've been showing in this video, just literally tag them every single day. Just tag them, go for, and then look at them when they've appeared, see what happens after that day's closure. Or, and then if not, go through them every other day just to see what's going on. So maybe only between every single pair, there's like 28 pairs, if I remember, trading pairs, yeah. Between all of them, yeah, just go through them every single day, and let's say 10 of these zones appear in a week. Out of those 10 pairs, see how many of them did at least a previous day's high or low move. So if it takes to take profit, you'll see it. I kid you not, it just does it. But when those zones appear, don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. Because I've just seen it on the MT4 version of the video. When those zones appear, it gives you a very good indication that the trade is about to go off. Like AUD CAD was one. AUD CAD, AUD New Zealand, AUD CAD is one specifically to that. So when AUD CAD did this, I saw it from on MT4 and Neo. You can go check it yourself, people. It's there on MT if you've got MT4 and Neo. This zone appeared as well on support and resistance 3, and you saw what it did. So when these zones appear, it gives you a good indication again that a trade is going to continue. And these zones are really good because when you get the day trading set up strategy, like I explained, you go here. This is what we remember when we was trying to get like the H4 turncoats appear on Neo. It's really good as well because even here, this is when price action, I'll show you. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is go over my strategy at the end of it just to show people how I use it, the whole setup. Give me a second. I'm trying to do rewind, that's why I'm confusing myself. Okay. No. Pay attention to the EMA tool and everything down there as well. Yeah, so the EMA tool and all of this as well down here. I think the only thing that shouldn't change is this one here, because this happened on the closure of this month's candle. But yeah. There we go. So notice how we're underneath the trend here. We've got this here. Now you would say to yourself here at this point, right here, where are we? Short position. So we're underneath every single EMA, even up until the monthly, you can see here. Boom. This candle has closed right here. We've entered here. This is how I would swing it. To swing trade it. So let me just see this quickly. Boom. So I would go up to here, just above that red zone there. And now I would go to a previous low, which is here or here. You go here to here, and then boom. There you go. So my trade obviously didn't go all the way down to there, but we did get all the way up to here, which gave me about a 1-to-1 R like that. So obviously I didn't take this trade setup because I knew this trade setup wouldn't give me the best risk to reward because it needs to reset. This is why I'm looking at it. So I didn't take it like this. Oops. Okay. Am I still sharing the screen, people? Sorry.
Nope, you're out in the dark.
Yeah, sorry. I pressed that.
You're back on.
The thing gets in the way. Yeah, so now this trade needs to reset, but you can see this is a 1-to-1 R. Nice and simple just from seeing that setup happen. Now I'm waiting for this to go back here, do something like this, and then go back down. This would be the bigger trade setup. Do you understand? That's what I'm looking for. But you can see, simple as the day trading setup, you can see as this was selling down, you saw how the indicator started to go bearish, created one of these zones, had its continuation. That's why I explained at the beginning of this Zoom call. This is what tends to happen. So you get this type of setup, which just makes it very simple to trade. And you can see the same thing if you was to go over to here, USD CAD. This USD CAD here, it's melting. Look at it melting right here. If I'm lying, I'm flying, people. I'm telling you, I don't think people understand the stuff I've added to this. Like, once people actually sit down and do what I said, you put the legwork in as well, you'll be like, wow, this is kind of a bit silly. What's going on here? Because I'm telling you, you'll be able to make money. Like, people probably think, but John, okay, why don't you do it and stuff? But I've got so many accounts to manage. I keep telling people I can't come in and out of accounts quick enough to do this myself on all my accounts because I can't trade properly them because of rules. You get breached. You understand? But on my private accounts, I take these trades. I take them, like I've showed when I was taking JPYs as well myself. Like, I'll take these private trades, not this one here because this is a reversal, but like a trend continuation. Look here, boom. Look where this zone appeared. Look what happened after. This is what I would call a swing trade. You see, boom, straight from here. And look, after the second leg pattern on the daily, boom. Can you see? So what I'm trying to explain to you is that it's real. Like, there's nothing fake that I'm doing here. I do everything for a reason. So I've seen the data and the consistency of it. Yeah. Cool. So what was I even going to show on this one? So even starting from here. So let's just go see here and let's start to see that candle all the way up there. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Everyone's still with me? For some reason, trading views just bugged out. Okay, what's going in there? Okay, maybe it'll work now. Okay, yep. All right, pay attention to this dashboard. The dashboard isn't ready just yet. We want it to start going. We want the monthly, weekly, daily to start being in line. Yeah, on the EMA trend. Pay attention to that. Boom. Can you see? Kicks into play now, people. You've got everything kicking in. You see how it's lighting up now. Now I'm going to start to look for what, guys and girls? I'm going to start to look for some type of trade that's going to do something like this for the continuation of the move. This is how John starts to look at this now. Yeah? Nice and simple. Nice and simple. So I'm fine to see this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're still just getting a straight buy. We're not getting no pullback here. This was a very long trade. Boom. Now we're getting our second leg of our W here. We need our support and resistance to form. Yeah, before we can look for a trade continuation. Boom, boom, boom. Our support and resistance is formed. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at the look at the table now. Do you see what I'm saying, people? How easy was that? Why just how easy was that? Look at the table. Look at the table. Look how nice and bright it is. Okay. Boom. Yeah. Cool. Let's go. And we've easily just entered a long position here. Now, personally, this trade bought much more than I would have liked it to. But let's just go for where are we going for? Let's go for this liquidity high here. So like a 1.5R trade right there. There you go. Smashed. You see? Can everyone see how I've made this setup like that? Like, it's just that, people. It's that. I wait for price action to reverse. When this gets into line, pardon me, when this gets into line, this is telling me structures forming. I'm going to show you this on a slower breakdown now so people understand what they're purchasing. And it might help them in order to swing, to scalp and day trade as well. Yeah? And if you've got any questions after that, let me know. So I just want to show you here. Boom. But from what I just shown you there, does that give you a better understanding of what's going on here? Can you see how everything was kind of negative at this moment on here? So it's bearish. But then as it started to become more and more bullish, I wanted the monthly, the weekly, the daily to go bullish. As it all started to go bullish, I was like, hold on a second. It's just the time frames kicking in. No different from how I've taught you to look for higher time frame M's and W second legs to the lower time frames. So it's the same thing with the EMA. It's the same thing with the structure. So if all three of them are coming into play, what do you think is going to happen when your move setup comes into play? What's going to happen, people? So let me know, guys and girls. Come on. I know one of you can answer this question. What do you think is going to happen if all three of them come into play? If this thing in the bottom here, the trend finder, and you've got your M's and W's, then you get your support and resistance as well. What do you think is going to happen with your trade? Come on, I know everybody's not AFK here. I know everybody's not AFK. Okay, I'll just mention it for you. Guys and girls, you're going to get a winning trade. What do you expect is going to happen? You're going to get a winning trade. That's what's going to happen. Okay? You're going to get a winning trade. That is the setup that happens for you. It's nice and simple. And you can see once it grabbed that liquidity there, now we're seeing the reversal pattern kicking in. Okay? But this is the same thing it does. Same thing. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. That's a second leg there. No. Okay, let's go to the 12-hour chart. Yep, there you go. Look at that. Do you see? So from Sunday, you can see that instead of the daily second leg forming there, can you see how you start? Like, you really got to play with this, and you get like you have some fun. So on Sunday, this was the 12-hour second leg here forming, boom, and closed. So it was really telling you as this was forming today, that could continue to sell, because it's basically telling you the preemptive second leg of the daily chart is starting to kick in. And this is how you could have caught that sell, like for a scalp sell. Like, you have to play with it, but notice it all comes from the daily analysis first, and then you work your way down if you're scalping or extended scalping into a little bit of day trading. You know? Cool. All right, now I'm going to show people this bit here. And this will be the last bit of the Zoom I do here, just so it doesn't go too far. Take people out. Okay. All right, cool. So let's keep this simple. Let's go to a winner that I went to again. So this is how I keep my setup nice and simple, you know? And again, it's the same thing I'm already doing here. And this is what this is already showing you, but you've got to keep this on the daily time frame. This indicator here, you want to keep on the daily time frame to get the most accurate, higher time frame data. Don't ask me why. Trading view can get buggy like that sometimes. But you're going to keep on the daily time frame. It's when you're trying to read multiple time frames. Now, what I do is I will go to the monthly time frame. When the monthly time frame, yeah, has found a high or low, yeah, that is when it's basically telling me that support has formed on the monthly time frame. So we can see a continuation of a possible continuation of buys. We can obviously see that the support level is found here. So the support level is found here, basically. Boom. Here's the support level right there on the monthly time frame. Neo dynamic support resistance 1, we can pick that up for you. You would be able to see it if you slap that on your chart. Yeah, cool. But you can even see, even after that, it started to form on the third candle with the support resistance 2. Then after the monthly time frame has found a support and resistance. Yeah. Yeah. July, August, September. Yeah. Boom. Then I am waiting for the weekly chart to find. Let's just switch this off quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm waiting for the weekly time frame to find a support and resistance. Where are we? Yeah, boom. So right there, boom. We found a weekly high or low here between these two candles here. And just to switch this off here so you can see, boom. So we've got a weekly high or low right here formed, okay? And then after the weekly high or low has formed, I am now waiting for a daily high or low to form. And then when the daily high or low forms, right here, bada bing, bada boom. So you've got a monthly high or low, a weekly high or low, and a daily high or low. And then what do we see here? We see price action, doing a trend move. Boom, boom, boom. All the way up, just like that, you see? And this is what I'm waiting for. And you can notice how these will be individual weeks in the market. So this could take a period of a certain amount of weeks to appear. And price action will do that between every trading instrument. It's going to do this type of movement for buys or sells. And you've just got to wait to figure out when it's going to do this. But now you don't have to figure it out. Why, guys and girls? Because we have our M and W reader. So right now we can just go back to the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame, where do we know we are? If this was the second leg of the W, this is the M, this is the low of the M, and this is the high of the M forming here. So we're still coming into an M pattern on the monthly time frame, but it's the high, it's the middle part of the M. This is why buys are still happening at the moment. So it's not the best part of the M on the monthly time frame, fair enough. Yeah, it's not a W, but it's a part which could buy, as you can clearly see. Yeah, we go to the weekly time frame. And then bada bing, bada boom. This is why I started telling traders during this week here to look for buy trade setups. So when we're on the weekly, remember, we already know, and that's what this indicator here had been showing us. We have a lower low on the monthly. We have a lower high we had on the weekly because, sorry, we had a higher low we had on the weekly, my bad. That was forming here. Not right now where it was before at this time, yeah? At this time here, just to show everybody so nobody gets confused. Go here, we go back down to the daily chart and you'll see what I'm saying. If no one gets confused, because I know some people will be confused. In the gaff, they'll be confused, yeah. Can you see? So as soon as this was the here, let me see, yeah. So right here, obviously this is a weekly lower high at the moment, but you can see it's a monthly lower low. Weekly lower high at the moment. When it gets to this point here, this should change to higher low. You see. Boom. There we go. There's it. Thursday. Okay, it was there. Okay, that was that week. That's why, sorry. It was when it goes over past this point. So it had to close this week here. So as soon as it got to this Monday here, sorry, that's when it changed because that's a new week. My bad. So as soon as it got to this week here, boom. But you can see as this was happening, I already knew where the higher low was forming. So obviously this is why I never entered the buy in this week because it was a lower high until this Monday here. You see, people? Then after this Monday, we already started to get into position. As soon as this candle closes, the daily on here should change to a higher low. Boom. Now you look. This is exactly proof in the pudding, people, just to show you. Proof in the pudding. This is the exact day. Anyone that's in the VIP group can show you. The exact day. Look at that chart now. You see that chart at the bottom? See the chart at the bottom, people? You see this steroid that I'm producing here for everybody here to trade it. This is exactly what I said. Now we can start to look for entries in this trade. Why? Because when we go to the weekly chart as well, we've got all of this lighting up. Then when we go to the, remember the monthly chart is the middle part of the end. But when we go to the weekly chart, we can see we're in a second leg of a weekly W. So I know that even if it's not going to give me the biggest push in the world, we should still get some type of pushes to where, guys and girls, to previous weekly highs or lows. Yeah? All right. Remember, I told everybody to enter there. Now let's see how this thing plays out. There you go. Where did we get our TP? We got our TP all the way to this one here. So remember, we entered from the Tuesday. This, dun, dun, dun. We entered from the Tuesday, and this here was a 300 pip trade. And then if you just waited, even if you didn't enter here, here's your second leg of your W on your daily time frame now. And then from if you held it from the Thursday or the Friday, the next week, you still would have been able to catch like 150 pips on that trade before the reversal, midweek reversal. You see? And you see how I went from the monthly time frame, structure, EMA, and support resistance I even had there. Yeah. Structure, EMA, support resistance. Yep. And when I say EMA, I mean EMA trend and support resistance. I went and then I had the weekly and then I had the daily. Do you understand? Boom. And that's how I've even managed to get in. But now, even when you go here, guys and girls, remember this was the Tuesday. Let's go back to the Tuesday. Yeah, let's go to the 4-hour chart. And then what do you have here on a Tuesday, the 22nd, is it? Yeah, that's the Friday. Yep, there we go. And here. Here, you on the 4-hour chart, you got a 4-hour second leg. And then boom. So right here. And then straight after this, pretty much after this, you see this is where you got the trade, most of the trade here. Can you see? I can't make this up, people. And that's all I'm doing. I'm using the time frames in sync like that. So I can take, that's why I say I already know what trades I'm looking for and what trades I'm not looking for. And what will happen is that, and the easiest way to spot it, people, I kid you not, for me, is all I have to do is that even if it's a middle part of an MLW based on the monthly, yeah. So if the monthly is not on a second leg of an MLW, even if it's the middle part, because we know those can still be big trades if you've been using the indicator. Remember, it's a monthly one. So even if it's the middle part, it can still do a massive move. You just got to wait to go and see what the weekly time frame is doing. If the weekly gives you a second leg of an MLW, there's a very strong chance price action is going to do a good move. Just to show you that, guys and girls. Yeah. To show you that. You can see here, this one here, even when this closed, okay, this gave a little bit of continuation. And you can see this move still went up here, but let's just keep going. You can even see from the top there. Even you can see what this one here is doing, AD New Zealand, even though technically there's a pinpoint one, but let's just see. Let's just keep going. Let's keep going. You can see here a AU from this second one here, boom. And from here, boom. So when I start to see the weekly time frame getting in line and the daily gets in line as well, as long as I'm not on the second leg of an MLW, on the monthly time frame, there's a chance that price action can do the trade setup. Ideally, I would love it for it to be a second leg of an MLW on the monthly, but for that to happen every time, it doesn't happen every single month, obviously. So don't get me wrong, pairs will be in rotation, but it don't happen every single month. And that's why I said one of the VIPs right now is collecting data on all of that, which he's doing amazing of all of that as well. Crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it doesn't happen every single month, but it still happens enough for you to have a good win rate and for you to actually grow any account you have, small or prop account, over the year easily. But yeah, you can see, look, second leg of a W here on the weekly. So you get my point. If you wait for the second leg of the W or the M, there's a stronger chance you're going to catch the trade setup that you need, is what I'm trying to tell you, within the trading month. So when that links up, what I just explained to you with GJ there, and then I get into the second, the weekly formation pattern, the MLW, is matching what I'm waiting for, boom. Then I'm just looking for my daily support or resistance, and I'll take my trade from there. And that's how I use Neo. You understand? It just keeps it very simple for me. So you can see Swiss franc JPY is got everything lining up there, but you can see right here, it's not on the weekly chart. It's in the second leg of the M. It's just not good. This is why I didn't touch this trade. Didn't touch it at all. So now when it gets into the second leg of the W on Swiss franc JPY, which could take some time because this could be the pullback week, and it's got this. It might take 2 or 3 weeks before it starts getting into at least, even if it's not the second leg of a W, at least the W forming. It's got to do this. It's got to do 1, 2. It's got to do boom, boom, boom. So it won't be until like the 20th of November. But by the 20th of November, don't be shocked when you start seeing this pair buy. Because Neo told you it can buy by the 20th of November. You understand? And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys and girls. So now I don't need to overtrade. And you can see this is one of the analyses I gave to the VIPs. I put their weekly W second leg. And that's what we're waiting for. You get it? That's how I trade it. I just keep it simple. There's no need for a headache. I already know what the highest time frame is doing, which is technically the monthly. I just wait for it to form, catch up in the weekly time frame, and then I'll just take the trade. And this helps me to know, this indicator at the bottom helps me to know if we're in the right bias. So it's either going to be all bearish or all bullish, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anybody got any question on what I just said there? Or was it pretty straightforward? Anybody got any questions? Let me know. There's a lot of people ask me about this indicator down here at the bottom, and they're like, how do we use it? And I'm like, that is how you use it. So how I explained from the monthly going down to the 4-hour chart, you want to do, if you want to use it any lower time frames, you want to do the same thing. You want to, this will tell you if structure is holding. Do you understand? And this will tell you if trend is holding as well. That's why if both of them line up, you get a good trade. But you need to be following the trade for you to know it properly, because if you're not following it, you're just going to be confused as hell. That's why you need to be following it. You look at this one now, boom, lighting up. And you can see, look, when the second leg of the W came in, look at it. You see now, and now look, boom. See? So really, the weekly chart is my anchor point. That's what I would say. Between the weekly and the daily is my anchor point, but more than likely, it's the weekly chart is my anchor point that I'm looking at. When this is lighting up, this thing, the trend finder, you know, the neo high and low trend finder is lighting up with the weekly, boom. That's when more than likely you're going to get a good trade. And then when you go down to boom, daily, which this one, I'm going to answer that question in a bit. Look here, people. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Look at that. Look at that entry for that trade buy right there. Okay. Yeah. And let's go back here and do this one. So that one there, you would have missed that. That was the actual move. So if you just waited here, you just waited patiently. Patiently, boom. And then you got in here. There you go. You see how you don't need to rush the process. Basically, this stops you from being in a lot of bad trade. Don't get me wrong, you're still going to get one that decides to go 20 more pips negative, 30, 50, 60 pips negative, but you're going to be in less bad trades. And that's what you want. You want to be in more good trades than bad trades. And if you average that out over the period of the year, you're easily a profitable trader from a simple system that you pay £50 a month for, or whatever if you get a lifetime subscription of that. It's simple. And you got to remember, I'm trading this as well every single time. I've got a reason to be here because I've got all the accounts I manage. And on top of that, like, it's a growing thing. So as time goes on, I'm always going to make this product better and better. No worries at all. No worries. So yeah, hopefully I answered any questions for people. So I've shown people the new update. I've shown people how they can have the idea of how to scalp with the new product. But then at the same time, they're going to have to still adapt if they're scalping. They have to adapt their own methodology to it. Like I said, probably previous days liquidity highs and lows would help you. And then taking a second leg of an MOW, maybe on a 30 or 50 minute, a 30 or 1 hour chart time frame, second leg of an MOW for your entry. Your take profits will always be previous days highs and lows, or previous weeks highs and lows, or previous months highs and lows. And then your stop loss can always be, if you find a good entry time frame, your stop loss can be underneath the W or M second leg. So not only did I showcase a product in this, I also gave a small basic idea on a scalping / day trading strategy. And then on top of that, I also broke down the Neo high and low trend finder and how I use it. And you can see how I stay in sync with it, so it doesn't seem like it's all over the place. I'm paying attention to specific time frame, so I'm waiting for the specific time frames to come back into flow. So I'm looking from a monthly going down. I'm not just jumping on a chart saying, does this look good? Can I trade it? I'm already watching. The monthly chart has done this setup. The weekly chart has done this. It's done this setup now. Do you understand? And all of this is taught to you as well in the VIP, so you know specifically. Even if you use different time frame, you know it's done what John teaches me. It's done what John teaches me. It's done what he's teaching. Do you understand? So then you will know that if this is correct to what you're seeing in front of you on the chart. And that's what I do. Do you understand? You would know, boom. And all it is so that if I can see this straight away, I'm still going to go and say, okay, yeah, if that's correct, okay, yes, the monthly has found the support here. I can see it's found the support here. Yeah. If you don't know that, you can use the Neo dynamic support and resistance 1, and it will show you that there's a monthly support that's appearing here underneath these two candles here. It will show you. Yeah. So you know, boom, and then you can say, okay, let me go to the weekly. Okay, yeah, the weekly hasn't found a new higher low yet, so we've only got that's the monthly support for a buy, but we haven't got the pullback higher low yet. So it's not ready for me to take a continuation yet. So even though this is all green, it's shown me this is all green because of how the first push looks. Now this needs to, if this is going to continue to buy, it needs to pull back. So I'm going to expect this trend finder to start going bearish. Then after it's pulled back, do you understand what I'm saying? See how the logic starts happening? Then it's going to start to do like another move here, another move here. Boom. And that's if in all this move, it doesn't want to reverse. If it doesn't and it holds, then we're going to see the next big push up, maybe in January, probably not even this month, this year. Then we're going to see the push up to the highs again. Do you see it? So I know which pairs to pay attention to because I'm following the flow of all of them, because I know exactly what I've been trading, the strategy, the data, and how it moves. And that's how you'll be able to replicate what I teach you on a lower time frame once you're part of the VIPs, because it's all there, the videos are there. I'll show you exactly what all of this is doing. It's not hidden. This stuff is doing, it's all there for you guys and girls to be able to see, you know? Cool. All right, people. So I'm going to leave it there anyway. If no one else has got any other questions, let's just see in here. Boom. How does one update to the new? You won't be able to update until tomorrow. I have mentioned that several times. I mentioned it in the group. I've mentioned it in all the groups. I mentioned it in this video as well. You're not going to be able to update now. It won't be out until tomorrow for you. So there's still some little things I've got to go over. But it's just to show people, because as soon as I update it, people are going to say, how do I use it? And then I said, I might as well kill two birds with one stone, as they say. So let me just, I've already done most of the update for everyone. I said, let me just make the video so people can see how to use it. So by the time I do get it out to them, they can refer themselves to this video. You know what I mean? So therefore, nobody has to be like, oh my God, what do I do? Understand? So I can understand it can be overwhelming for people, but once you get the hang of it, you'll actually be like, whoa, this is actually really silly. Like silly. And you just got to find an easy method of using it. Don't overcomplicate it. You can see my monthly method is very simple. I look for the monthly lower low, the weekly higher low, the daily higher low, and then I pretty much look for an entry after that. And that's just it. Just 1, 2, 3, boom. And then I just got to make sure where I am in the pattern of the M's and W's with that. And then more than likely, if these line up, the lower low, higher low, and higher low, then the trend will line up as well. So price action will be above all these EMAs as well. 50 on the monthly, the weekly. It's like you're just going with the flow. You understand? So you know, if it takes 3 weeks for that to appear, then you know, why not wait? I mean, it's like ABC stuff. You wait for it. If you rush it, it's what I try to tell people. Then, you know, if you do lose a trade, whose fault is it? But if you actually just wait, this is going to happen. It's going to line up at some point, and then you take the trade. Use patience. That's it, people. Yeah, so I'm learning a lot more patience going into 2025, and that's what all of this was. It's like stabilizers to make me patient. So I've got no excuse for missing a trade or getting, well, not missing a trade, but for messing up on a trade setup. If I traded the wrong point, I can pinpoint exactly where my error was. You know what I mean? If I've done what, if I've taken a trade like that. But yeah, you can see it's just all there. Yeah, no problem, people. I just thought, you know, like I said, updates so anyone can see it. Everybody's aware of what's going on. Yeah. Okay. So every time I do an update, I'll probably try and do one of these videos as well. Know that, yeah, one of these videos has to come out so people can see what's going on. Yeah, it'll be good if I could get the M's and W's into here as well. That would be good to follow it. But the problem is with this multi-time frame is that it doesn't fetch well. Like I've said, I tried to get it here and it just wasn't fetching well. It's just, I could understand it, but traders wouldn't understand it. So you get it, and that was causing the issue. So I was like, no, I can't have that. It's, if it was a solo indicator for myself, great, but it wasn't a solo indicator. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to get people asking me questions all the time. The biggest thing that was happening is that unless you get every single time frame reading, every bit that forms, you're just going to get it turned from M to W second leg, regardless if it's moved on to the next part. Do you understand? Or you'll get it where it says no signal, basically, until it gets to the next part. And if it does that, it just becomes a bit, basically, you never had. It's like, it's weird to explain. You get to a point where it's like, there's hardly ever any M's or W's matching in the time frames. That's what was happening. I was like, that doesn't really add up. You understand? It's just weird. Yeah. I don't think it was working properly as well. So yeah, I just said, yeah, it's just clearer if you just leave it. It's a lot less headache. And it doesn't really take that long for you to honestly just be able to go from. It's not hard to do that, just to check if there's more time frame as whatever W. You know what I mean? And the more equipment you've got, the more screens you can have as well. But yeah, guys and girls, we'll leave it there. I can upload this. If anybody wants to get me out, please message me, let me know. ASAP, there's only 23 more lifetime spaces going out there. So if you want to get a lifetime slot, you need to know that means you forever get your updates and whatever on TradingView. You always get your signals, your mentorship, no monthly payments and any of that stuff. If you want to get the monthly just to test it out, let me know. And if you want to get the yearly to test it out, let me know. Let me know, guys and girls. Yeah. All right, then. I will speak to you all later. Take care. Bye.